Liz from the Adventures of Island Girl, coming to you from a very rainy, thundery, and lightning Bonaire. Back to answer another viewer question. But before we get to the heart of the question, we probably should talk about the elephant in the room, and that would be my hair. If you have been watching my previous videos, you know that I once upon a time had long hair, then I had kind of medium hair, and now I have really short hair. Really short hair. Extremely short hair, shorter than it's ever been in my life. Why do I have short hair? Because I'm transitioning to my natural hair color and embracing all the silver and gray that I have growing in. And for me, it just was working better to have all the dry and dyed ends cut off. So yeah, that's what I did. I have some videos on my going gray journey, and you can check those out also on my YouTube channel or on the website, theadventuresofislandgirl.com. But that is not what we're here to talk about today. Today we are answering a question from Michelle. Michelle messaged me. She had just relocated to the tropics, and she was wondering what other island girls do about skincare. And I had to be upfront with her in my reply and say I may not be the best person to ask, because I, unlike my U.S. former self, my island girl self is super low maintenance when it comes to taking care of my skin. Probably shouldn't admit that, but it's true. Look, I live 12 degrees from the equator. It is bloody hot here almost every day of the year. And while I'm sitting in air conditioning today and have my makeup on because I have a thing to do later, most days I'm just a hot, sweaty mess. And putting extra stuff on my skin just means I'm going to break out. And nobody wants to break out. So I don't. My routine is this. I wash my face twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening before I go to bed. And I put moisturizer on. I don't have a particular brand of moisturizer that I use. I just buy whatever oil-free moisturizer it happens to be on sale at the local shop. I think right now I have this one. I don't know, something triple active Revitalift from L'Oreal because it sounded promising and I can use all the lift I can get. But really I buy whatever's available in the shops. One other thing about my skincare routine is even when I do wear makeup, I do not wear foundation. I cannot put, really at the end of the day, the bottom line is I can't put anything on my skin that would potentially clog my pores. So that's my routine. But since I realized that probably might not be every island girl's routine, I reached out to a bunch of my island girl friends and asked them what their skincare routines were, because I was sure that there were other things happening on other islands with other ladies in terms of how they take care of their skin. And the interesting thing that I learned is that by far the majority of my island sisters who replied to my my desperate WhatsApp asking for their skincare tips, most of them follow basically the same thing I do. Mostly they try to avoid putting anything on their skin unless they have to. As for moisturizers, those that did use a daily moisturizer opted for an oil-free version, preferably with some SPF in it as well. And for those ladies who do wear makeup on a regular basis, they try and incorporate SPF into the facial products that they use. And that's generally, I think, a good tip for anybody considering life in the tropics. The more SPF you can incorporate into your skincare routine, face, body, the better, because UV rays are pretty strong down here, so close to the equator. Anyway, that's it. That's my tip. Limit the amount of oily stuff you put on your face. Cleanse thoroughly a couple times a day. And try and use as much SPF as you can. I will say, when I first moved down here, I brought a huge supply of Target brand oil-free moisturizer with an SPF 15. I have never been into spending a lot of money on my skincare stuff. Sorry for all my friends who are selling high-end products, but it's just not my thing. But I will say that the product from Target, it's like, it was in a little white bottle with a purple pump, that's all I remember, was pretty good at moisturizing my face and not causing me to break out while I was here. But the longer I live here, the lower maintenance things get. And really I just wash my face and put a little moisture on my chest and my neck so that I can try and avoid turning into like a 60-year-old leather handbag. And that's about it. So Michelle, I hope that answered your question. I think to summarize it, I would say island girls tend to be a pretty low maintenance bunch. The weather here dictates it. And that's kind of a nice thing, because I think most people want to move to the islands to be less high maintenance than they were back in the States. Anyway, thanks for writing, Michelle, and I hope I answered your question. For anyone else watching, if you have a question about life in the tropics, about going gray, about cutting your hair off, I don't know, whatever you want to ask me, feel free to send it to hello@theadventuresofislandgirl.com. I get back to everyone, and sometimes I turn the questions into videos. And be sure and go check out my blog at theadventuresofislandgirl.com because there's lots more cool, fun stuff there. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Adventures of Island Girl. See how I'm keeping this easy for everybody? Or head over to Facebook and join the page. Like the page and become a fan. I share a lot of stuff there that I don't share anywhere else. Until next time, I'm going to go try and avoid the raindrops and not get struck by lightning. Just kidding, I'm going to stay in the house. But have a good day, and I will see you in the next video.